Hi everyone and welcome for another video. This time, yes, it's about the new moon of September 25th, 2022, but it's also about the equinox of September 22nd or 23rd, depending where we are on the planet, and as well on the Saint Michel. I don't know how many people know about this event. We call it, it's one of the main 4 celebrations of the year based on the solstice and the equinox that are happening through the year. And so of course we have Saint Michel for the autumn, for the fall equinox. Usually Easter is related to the spring equinox, Christmas to the winter solstice, and the Saint John celebration for the summer solstice. So this time for the Saint Michel, there are some aspects happening that are really strong and that are underlining the same energy for all those 3 moments that are following each other from really just a few days apart. So again, fall equinox, September 22 or 23. The new moon is on September 25th, and the Saint Michel is happening on September 29. So it's about a week of time, but it's filled with really strong aspect underlining one thing, and I'm going to tell you right away what type of topic this is all about. We're talking about the Michaelic era, which is really closely related to the age of Aquarius. So we have a huge shift happening. It takes years to make such a shift happen for real. It's big. And we kind of feel it. We feel the change, right? We feel there's huge change happening right now. But where are we really going? What has been described in the past? What do we feel right now? And how is that all happening? The Michaelic era is not as known as the age of Aquarius, specifically in the world of astrology, but nevertheless, it's extremely important, and it has been described at least by Rudolf Steiner, and I think also Nostradamus talked about it, and a few other great clairvoyants, great medium of this planet. So it's something big. And why we call it Saint Michel? Archangel Michael, or Saint Michel, is connected actually, is totally connected to the sun. It's the archangel of the sun, actually. So it's something that is filled with light. It's something that it's daytime. It's not nighttime anymore. It's daytime. When we work with Archangel Michael or Saint Michel, it's the same idea here. So it's something that makes everything clear. And I'm going to tell you right away the topic. The topic of that video is about, we heard many times either politicians or religious people or who else, great masters of this planet that, this planet had great people, really advanced, that gave some sentences, a few words that marked our reality as humanity. And now there are 2 ways of receiving those words. One of them could be called, what's the term? Nocturne, we say in French, related to nighttime. And another way of seeing this would be related to daytime, to the sun, to light, and not to the shadows. So if we take only the words themselves and we remember the words and we're really happy about it because we know it's important, so we remember the words. What will happen? Well, we kind of have to take it in as, oh, it's important, and then we're blind, and we take it, the whole thing, the whole package, but we take only the words. So basically, through time, it creates some things that will be very dogmatic. It takes, we know the words, but at the end, it creates a certain feeling that it's a bit dogmatic. We repeat those words, but they're kind of empty a little bit after a while. And we don't really get the point, right? We don't know exactly what they mean, those words. And I don't know, my favorite example for this is Jesus when he said, I don't know exactly in English how it goes, I'm sorry. But, when he says, love each other like I loved you, something like this, I guess you can figure it out. I know it's not exactly the right words, but you see the idea. So this sentence for me is one of the really important ones. But if you take only the words themselves, well, what do you really get out of this? Basically, you bring it back to your own consciousness. Your own consciousness, what it knows about love. And you're kind of underlining the fact that it's important to love each other, but that's about it, right? So this is when we take it in the night way, in the nocturnus way. Let's say, we take it and we remember the words and that's it. Same thing goes for science. There are some dogmatic notions in science. There are. And we think, oh, no, science knows everything, can explain everything. Not at all. Lots of pieces missing yet. Through time, yes, there will be more and more light. But if you think about it, many things are said and they're not sure. And it changes from year to year. What is best to eat? How's the universe really constructed? How did all this happen? What's an atom really? What's the speed of light? Can you explain it well? It's many things that we don't understand perfectly. And we kind of, we say it, that we know it. We try to show that, yes, we know it. We don't really know it. And basically, if we take only the words, we end up with huge dogmatic problem in science as well. Same thing in religions, as we said. Same thing in arts as well. What is beautiful? What is beautiful in arts? Who could say that? Everybody will say, oh, everybody has his own, perceptions, and someone could like this, someone could like that. And beauty, is undebatable. It's personal. Sure. Yeah. If you think about the words only, yes. But if you think about something else that is more daytime connected, more light connected to the consciousness of the person that pronounced those words, then it's a different story. Then you can slowly start being able to share, for example, what you think beauty is for real, because the person will connect to the consciousness you had when you pronounced those words and will slowly feel beauty in there, for real, or not, if they are in empty words. Think about politicians. How many times do they actually speak lies? It's huge. They make promises they will not really hold, and so they speak lies a lot, and they make false promises, or sometimes they could be honest and make some kind of a promise, but what's behind it? Well, if we take it in the blind path, like the night path, well, we'll say, oh, it's okay. There are all those promises. There's this idea behind this political party. It's fine. And we take it like this. But then things are unraveling and we figure out that, oh, there was lots of lies there. It was not very clear what it meant at the time. And basically, we're not that happy. And right now, the level of unsatisfaction is huge on our planet. Towards our politicians, towards our scientists, even towards our artists, towards religion. It's huge, the level of unsatisfaction. Why is that happening? Because we're entering the age of Aquarius. We're entering this Michaelic era through which our beings, as human beings, we are slowly developing. Some cells within ourselves are actually changing, just like butterflies, you know. Those caterpillars are slowly entering into their cocoons and they are transforming. And they're expecting something different. They're expecting to connect with the consciousness of the person that mentioned those famous words. Let's say there's, I don't know, political party have, you know, a certain words they repeat all the time, you know, like yes we can, you know, maybe you've heard that one, or you know, some words like this they repeat through their campaign all the time. And okay, they say that, but what's in the consciousness of the person that said this? We're very, very used right now to use keywords in Google search and Facebook and whatever, YouTube or whatever else we're looking at. Keywords are everything. That's how people sell. They find good keywords, they find a good way to put their ad in, and then they're seen by millions of people and they sell tons of their stuff based on words, empty words. Those keywords are empty because what is not being shown there is the consciousness of the person that is actually using this word. And this will be necessary in the Michaelic era. We'll have to know, to understand, to comprehend what's in the head of the person that is actually saying this. Otherwise, we won't buy it, we won't go for it, we won't trust it, because we want to see the light. We want to see the light in the person. And the light is the consciousness. The sun in an astrological chart is connected to the consciousness. And this is what this Michaelic era is all about. And this age of Aquarius is starting with this Michaelic era. And this is slowly starting to unfold. And the cells within us that are unsatisfied by politicians, by religions, by science, by almost everything now. Why is this happening? Because we know they are lying to us with empty words, and we want to feel the consciousness within that they have. And there's a huge activation shift that is happening with this sequence of equinox, fall equinox, new moon of September 25. Fall equinox is 22nd or 23rd September. New moon 25 September. And Saint Michel celebration on September 29. There's a huge activation happening. I'm going to show you right away the aspects I'm talking about when I'm saying that astrologically there's a huge activation. Look at the charts. So let's first look at the equinox, fall equinox. Of course, the sun is at 0 degree Libra. That actually astrologically, astronomically, that is actually marking the equinox itself when the sun is at 0 Libra. So what is happening there? Sun and Mercury, both at 0 Libra, are making an opposition with Jupiter in Aries. Look at that. There's that opposition right there. It's a almost horizontal line, red line, connecting those points on the horizontal line there. And there's also Venus at the end of Virgo sign, making an opposition with Neptune in Pisces. Those oppositions with Jupiter in Aries, Neptune in Pisces, will keep evolving through those three celebrations from September 22nd to September 29. In 1 week, there will be a huge progression happening there within those opposition. Why is that so important? Because Jupiter and Neptune, they formed this great conjunction in 2022. The great conjunction in Pisces of Jupiter and Neptune, it happens once every 150 years or so. because both are ruling the sign of Pisces. They were in conjunction in April 2022. So this is the huge conjunction of this year. And now Jupiter just went further in Aries, but they are both on each side of this first degree of the whole zodiac, which is 0 degree in Aries. And they're right there. And now we see during this specific period that there are oppositions, there are planets right opposed to them at the end of Virgo and beginning of Libra, forming those oppositions. So for the equinox, Sun and Mercury at 0 degree Libra, Venus end of Virgo, forming those oppositions. If we move to the new moon of September 25, we see Sun and Moon, of course. They're together because it's a new moon. It's normal conjunction there. And at very early Libra, 2 degrees, and they're forming their opposition to Jupiter and Venus and Mercury, both in conjunction, are forming their opposition to Neptune and Pisces. Now, if we move to the Saint Michel celebration, now we see Sun is in opposition to Jupiter, Sun in early Libra, opposition to Jupiter in Aries, and Mercury, all by itself, forming an opposition now to Neptune in Pisces. So you see the oppositions are there, and on top of this, Venus at 0 degree Libra. So 0 degree Libra this year is resonating lots of times through this progression. On the equinox, fall equinox, it was Sun and Mercury at 0 degree Libra. On the new moon, it's the moon itself that just went by the 0 degree Libra and just arrived in conjunction with the Sun. The same day it was at 0 Libra. And then for the Saint Michel celebration, it's Venus at 0 degree Libra. And 0 degree Libra is important because it's forming this opposition. And that opposition is all about because the Libra is connecting us to the others. So it's about connecting our consciousness to the consciousness of the other person that is showing something so important, that is shining, that is taking the whole place, the whole stage. It's about understanding the consciousness of the person in front of us. The person that is talking to everyone, someone important. We understand the consciousness behind the words. This is huge. This is clairvoyance. This is clairvoyance because we do it with the heart, not only with the mind analyzing the words, not at all. It's the heart that allows us to make it a form of clairvoyance. Yes, we use our intellect to understand really and to bring a bright light on everything, but the heart is key because it's connecting us to the person. It allows us to go within and see the consciousness that's there. Why is the person using those words? We need to know this. Once this shift will be done, and there's a huge activation shift happening within this progression of those 3 celebrations, and just 1 week from September 22nd to September 29th, when this is a huge activation that is helping us to move towards this direction and see that our future, this new era that is happening, is not only about technology. It's not more Google AdWords and keyword search and stuff. This is not our future at all. Not at all. It's about this clairvoyance that when someone is communicating an information, we know the consciousness within the person. We can feel it. We can understand it. Now we're using some kind of clairvoyance. We say like night type of clairvoyance where we're blind. We don't see the light. We don't see the consciousness. We don't see the sun in the person, this consciousness in the person. We don't see it. And why is it some kind of clairvoyance? Because it's working. Because those crazy empty words are making things happen. So we believe, blindfolded, we believe those words that are given to us. Even from clairvoyants, even astrologers that are not really explaining what is happening in details, that are not accompanying ourselves to see clearly the steps and understand, and to also have access to our own level of consciousness. Astrologers too. Do we know their consciousness when they give the things? Does it show? Are they willing to share their consciousness? Are they aware that what is really important is their level of consciousness when they give those words to anybody? This is what counts the most. Because otherwise it's empty words. We had enough of that. On many aspects, political, scientific, religious, esoteric, artistic, name it, we had enough empty words, really. And now it's time to connect with the consciousness of the person that is speaking. And then, when this will happen, think about poor politicians. They'll try to present themselves in front of us. We'll see clearly. And it will be clear, not a guess. It won't be just a guess. It will be obvious because it will be also because our intelligence is participating, our intellect is also participating. So there will be no doubt. It's not, just a feeling, I feel, or my crystal ball, or I don't know what else. It's something obvious. We know it because we can actually calculate it. We can prove it. It's so obvious that the person does this only, for its own benefit, not to lose his job, for some kind of reason that has nothing to see with the words that the person is giving. So you see, this is Michaelic era, and we're going there. And you might think, it's impossible to know this, the consciousness of the person. What are you talking about? Do we need to be clairvoyant to go? Not at all. It's obvious. You'll see. It's just a matter of ourselves being a bit more aware of this. Talk about it with friends. Talk about that. What's the consciousness of the person giving this information? And use different examples, and you'll see this skill of Michaelic clairvoyance. You'll see it will develop within, and use different examples. Yes, some from politicians to have a certain type of perspective, but also from people that are really wise, that you really love deeply, that are models to you, that you really want to move their direction. Think about themselves too. What is in their mind? Where is their consciousness when they pronounce those precious words that I repeat all the time? If you see a prayer, for example, you say a specific prayer with specific words regularly, well, think about the person that first did receive this prayer. What was the consciousness of that person? This is an exquisite exercise to do. It's wonderful. What you'll be receiving from that exercise is just amazing. Think about it, and I'm telling you, things will be changing lots. Share the word, share this video as much as you can, because this is really useful for many people. I hope I've been expressing myself well enough. I know my English is very not at the right level for this presentation specifically. Some words were really missing, but if it's been clear enough, I think there's some really great jewels for the Age of Aquarius, for this Michaelic era we're entering. And see you another time for another astrology video. Thank you so much, and happy celebrations. Celebrate this week. It's amazing. Think that, yes, humanity is receiving this activation. We're moving towards that direction, and knowing where we're going, it makes us so much more peaceful. And this insatisfaction, we know that it's being useful, that it's something that is part of the whole process, and we can start appreciating this insatisfaction and working with it to start being closer to where we really want to get. So thank you very much for watching. See you another time.